Greetings, everybody. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, Wizards of the Black Death. Episode 12, The Forge. Now that I have smithing, it would be probably a pretty wise idea to get a fueled smithy up. This, again, is not my crafting room, so the fact that I keep building things in here is just kind of silly. I'll put the fueled smithy where it is eventually going to go. I'm going to lay it out, obviously, better than this. So here's the steel forge that I'll queue up, and then the fueled smithy to be done at some point. These guys are going to despawn any second now. We're at 1% threat, so they go poof at 0. And then as soon as they go poof... Alright, they're at 0% now, but obviously they're still zombies. As soon as they go poof, I will unrestrict everybody so I can repair like crazy. We even have an external wall breakage here, which is probably due to Paco. I'm going to blame Paco one way or another. Paco. We do have the ability to make elephant spears. So elephant spears are high damaging spears, which is great. And then they cost elephant tusks, which we have 10. And elephant bows, which would be probably incredible for a certain gala to have. And again, that is tusks, magicite, wood, steel. I'm not going to make that yet because we have so little magicite that I have to be careful with it. But, wow, this gladius looks wild. It's all curved. I like that's very cool. And then we also have armor of the Valiant and helm of the Valiant. Again, magicite requiring, so I got to be careful with the amount of magicite. One thing I got to say is because of the sickness that we've had. Ooh, uh-oh. Shield just went poof. Hang on a second. Let me go eat some corpses. I will also say that the weird bugs that I've been getting stopped as soon as I removed the pinata mod. So maybe the pinata mod was indeed to blame. Crimson Rust, thank you for the bits. Up the magicite in the quarry. There's actually ways to sort of make your own magicite, and we're getting there. And you guys want enchanting. I like enchanting. Enchanting's cool. Alright. We're unfortunately down one elephant, though. But I you know, there's plenty of dead elephants all around that I could just make into an elephant. So we're clear. Now that we're clear, I am going to put construction, and it's already true. I was going to have construction as a high priority for all the constructors to try to get things back and repaired. Magic is returning to normal, and guarding for Juno. Juno wants me to guard some dude, a 49-year-old, for 15 days who will be paralyzed for almost no reward. Got it. I will, I'll poll you all in a minute about that. I know how I feel, but I'll let you vote. So enchanting is being done. Should I guard for Juno? Yes or no? There's also a, JD. I want you coming out here and hitting this jade like it is the Wicker Man. The rewards again. Here they are. Slab bed. We don't have pain as virtue, so we don't like slab beds. Silver. A side trainer, which we aren't psycasters, or goodwill. So it's useless, and relatively useless. But it's up to you guys if you want it or not. I don't really care. If you want me to host people, that's cool. I just, you know, figured I'd voice my opinion about the nonsense that is the quest rewards. I know that most of this burned up, but I'm going to put a tree felling zone over here. Maybe minus the anima tree. so that I can try to get the wood back. I know I only have like a day. Call it tree felling. But my farmers have been doing a crap job, basically. The parasite thorn bush has just been sitting here waiting to be harvested, as has the cotton, as has the rice, as has basically everything else. So if you're wondering, these guys that respawn will immediately die because my threat is 0. So it's not much of a threat that they come back, because they're probably not going to bite anyone in the 10 seconds that they exist. But we're not allowed to corpse loot, so I'm just going to up and delete their stuff. Grab the medicine trainer. That's a good call. Alredos, that would be you. He's gotten 2 trainers so far. Alright, we're on top of that smoke spear. Good. So he's gone from 5 to 10. Do I have the resources for a second layer? I don't have the slate at the moment. I could do limestone, but it's more of a fact of time. I only have 1 day until they start coming back. So one thing I do have the resources for is I could set up a high priority chunk hauling. So slate, chunks, and this would be pretty wise of me to do right now. So let's get slate chunks hauled in here, and then I can queue up all the slate on the map tile to be hauled. Dal, summon your minions. Do you have an extra skill? No, you don't have an extra skill point. That's too bad. And then with this minions, I'm going to create a new zone. I'll call them minions. And they are... This is probably the cheap and easy way to do it. Invert. And then add here. So they're only allowed out of the base or in where the chunks go. And as a result, they're inevitably going to haul chunks for me. Hey, a hype train. I didn't even realize. And hey, Trustin. Welcome back, dude. Cheers to you. Lots of building and relaxing? Yeah, let me... Oh. Thanks, Zero. You gave him a shout-out. I was like, how'd that shout-out happen? So Penguin Andy's still alive. And is undead too. So that means you're faster. Yeah. Awesome. So it did update. I just had to go to a new zone. I'm here just to kill 3 tortoises. Shouldn't be much of an issue. In fact, I'm just gonna blink. Oh, what? Seriously? Go inside. Okay. Go. There we go. He can't even... Here, Gala, just come in here with me. Thank you. Forbid the doors. They're trying to kill me in here? Really? You're trying to break the doors down? I am oddly endangered. Not really. Right, you can go to sleep. How's the marathon going? It is going pretty good, man. I haven't really had any critical fails. I've been extraordinarily careful, and it has paid off. Which is... unusual? Juno's collection of treasure, the cursed harp, expired. Good. No one wants that anyway. Oh, what? Oh, crap. There's zombies here. Penguin Eddie, run! So, yeah, there's 15 zombies on this map tile. I'm going to need to get out of here quickly. Uh-oh. Let's go up this way. There's rhinos that are getting pissed and zombies, and yeah, let's leave. Penguin Eddie should be joining us. Come on. Go to the edge tile. Just ignore the enemies. Walk to the edge. There we go. And returning home. I have half a day's food, half a day's journey. The issue is, in half a day, zombies are going to start respawning, so it's going to be tight. You say, don't guard for Juno, because Juno sucks. Bye. And I think I'm going to start to prioritize the hard-to-reach places for repair. The entry gate areas, because those are a little bit tougher to do. And 98% on work drive. So as soon as work drive comes up, I'll hit work drive with Valentin. JD, how have you been mining? If I see that this jade is untouched... Okay, it's touched. I was about to lose it if he hadn't even started. You get a pass, dude. One of my longest patrons ever. Like I would somehow ever fire you. I wouldn't. Alright, there we go. Combining the corn zones again. What happened to Lady? Lady's been paralyzed since the day she joined us. She's been paralyzed for about 30 days. She has 3 days left. So nothing happened to her. She's just the way she has been forever. For better or for worse. Have we been cutting any trees down? No. So my wood supply is going to suck very soon. And that is a result of Dal playing hooky. So don't cut anything in this zone. No plant cutting. Even the thorn bush. No, you don't get it. Don't sow it either. Just stop. Dal. I'm going to assign Dal to the outside zones again. Just like the minions. Go outside. Go cut some trees down. Oh, what the heck happened to you? You froze? Loser. I mean, you know, not loser. He's back up again. He does a lot for us. I shouldn't insult. I feel bad now. A little bad. Right. No, he's cutting trees down now. It's going to be hard to get this. Oh, summon more little gobblers. They look like Pac-Man. That was the last of his mana, but it's worth it. And we have like 8 hours left of resource exploitation. Everybody is now healed from their sleeping sickness. That sleeping sickness really hit me hard. JD, please. Yes, you're mining. Good. I think you can work drive Val. Where is Valentin? Actually, how tired is Valentin? He's weak enough. Let's work drive. I don't know where he is, though. Oh, southern wall. I guess we can repair that. It'd be better if we were repairing things that, like, mattered, though. Not to say this doesn't matter, but it's low priority. But he's work-driven now, so this will be a quick repair. And I'll manually keep him from leaving this until he's done. I think Gala and Randall Thor will be able to return home relatively safely, even if the zombies just start to spawn. It should be okay. Now, if they're repairing the far walls, does that mean all the local stuff is good? Yeah, wow, it is good. So we did manage to get a few slate chunks care of the little minions. So I'm going to open up the slate cutting so that I can put some walls in instead of having just natural steel. I think we're just about 100%, yeah, we're just about 100% set up here, which is really cool. walled in. There is some sort of natural tile, and I still haven't dug out my, like, panic bunker. Okay, let's learn you some Shadow Bolt, so you can cast it often. More coffee. I've got the cheese mug now, too. Uh-oh, he froze again. I feel like I've been punishing him in a bad way. I should probably peg leg him. As soon as we get that lamp, torch lamp back on. Look at all this. So they're home. They did get home in time. And there's nowhere to store the wood? Oh, right, because you're not allowed in the base. You're not tired yet. I'm going to keep him out there until he's tired. Talking about my cheese mug? Yes. Here, I'll put it on Yoda's cam. That's cheese. The Immortal Zombie Slayer, which is very fitting for this. That's when I did the Survive the Swarm series. I made, like, commemorative mugs for patrons. So I need Dal to start to get his mana back, because he's the one with this defense pylon thing. Another thing I could do to raise my wood is to start to break down things that I could exchange for steel. Like breaking down the wooden stone cutter tables and replace those with steel ones, because steel is kind of a more renewable resource. And then do the beds as well. These old... especially the less good wooden beds, and replace them with steel ones. That all would be smat. Another thing I can start to do is to replace the doors, because one of the problems is these doors break, and then it's 25 wood per door, per broken door, which is, kind of expensive, and we could mitigate that by setting it up. Alright, so zombies are back in, like, seconds. So you are going to go to the desummon zone. Poor little penguin daddy going, I don't want to die. Well, it's not up to you. I'm so mean. And, Dal, I should have let you home, so let me put you on unrestricted, and you can haul some wood in. Alredos, why are you up at this hour? I don't know, but go haul wood. And Hannibal, you go haul wood too. The reason, I mean, I know I could start to do mage light torches and things like that to keep the lights on instead. But that would be for all of these individual rooms, which is a requirement of the permanent bases that we have. It would be very, very expensive to upkeep all that light. That would be a lot of light. And I still don't even have the buildings, the required number of buildings that my ideology, asks for. Hi, Tusk. What's up, girl? Oh, yeah, you're looking at an empty bed. How about a Tusky? Let's try this again. Magic, a Tusky. Yeah, I got her. Probably want to finish the northwest wall? Probably. It is where everybody convenes, so it's a rather guarded area, but you're not wrong. I just don't want to be slate blocks. So, Hannibal, guess what? You are going to cut some blocks for me. Oh, and we have zombies. And I think one of the zombies are eating my minions. Yep. Minions can't turn. They're demonic. They're kind of lifeless little creatures. So they don't become zombie minions or anything like that. I think you can actually kill your minions and then resurrect them as undead to keep them permanently, which is kind of might be an exploit, because the mana requirement to keep something undead is based upon its combat power, and minions' combat power is like very close to 0. So that actually might be a good way to game the system a little bit. Just a thought. All right, bye-bye, Penguin Addy. Thank you for serving us. And then these chairs and gibbet cages are going to get broken down for their raw resources. She is, yeah, I'll put it this way. If I lay in bed, I have to protect my face because Tusky is the type of dog to lunge onto the bed, claws first. Not to try to hurt me, but because she wants to cuddle so badly, it could end violently. That is no joke. She is that much of a cuddler. That she's a projectile, dangerous one. I mean, I love her, and I wouldn't trade her for the world. Well, she's part of the world. I wouldn't trade her for the world minus her. But, I have been mauled pretty seriously by her. Yeah, I'm talking about you, girl. Hi. Okay, summoning again. Summon. She just, like, rolls over. Do I clip her claws? I do. But I'm bad at it. Even with, like, training and styptic powder and all that, I suck at it. So I usually try to just wear her claws out by taking her for long hikes and things. Because it's less harsh. Ooh. Our Magicite should have... Yeah, our Magicite has shot up because we started harvesting, finally, this parasite. So here's what happens when you harvest parasite. The parasite gets harvested into straight sort of raw Magicite. And neglecting this part of the farm is really dumb because it's so important. I also think that we're building the Arcane Forge. Oh, right. Okay, there's not too many zombies that I think it's... I'm going to restrict everybody except for Valentin. And have Valentin and maybe Randall come out to haul some stuff. I actually don't even need Valentin to haul it all home. Where are you traveling? Jesus. This is a roundabout way to get there. Randall, you just stay home. Because he all he needs to really do is to stack it up into stacks at 75, and then Randall can just summon it home. Lady is going to get up for the first time in 48 hours. So that's cool. Zombies are invisible again? Yep, they don't have faces. Or bodies. They only have hair and clothing. So it isn't that, it wasn't that mod that was breaking it. That's good to know. Wasn't a Pinata mod, and I can re-enable that as soon as I restart. So I'm trying to put this into stacks of 75 so that they're easier to summon remotely. And then I'll have Valentin carry an armload of it. So this is something that Randall can just be like, hey, get over here. Oh, except for I'm not close enough. I didn't think about that. Yeah, might be out of range. But it's not like Jade decays or anything. So if I can't haul it home right now, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, I could summon it. Costs considerable mana, but it's very doable. And he actually just got leveled up. So I have summoning efficiency increased. Okay. As soon as Valentin gets home, I'm going to restart for safety. Because the mod's blowing up again. Zombies don't have bodies. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what is a zombie and what is just clothing. Except for you guys. The curse of the floating hair. Yeah, the real danger here is a zombie with no clothing with a shaved head. Would I even see them? I'm not sure I would. Maybe I would see the shaved head barely, but I would not count on it. A bathroom break? I mean, I'm 9 hours in, and I haven't gotten up once. I'm really good on transcontinental flights, if you wouldn't have already assumed that. I'm a machine. I have bionic organs. Probably. Oh, knocked him out. God, he is easy to knock out. Alright, so we are home safe and sound. Let me do a reboot here, because everything's super broke. But I don't have a Yoda from a B-Reback screen, so that's very, very, very sad for you all. Because I don't have a mascot. So there's the Tiltify campaign. Oh, I think we have some recent donations, do we not? Blast Hazard. Thank you for your donation 25 minutes ago that I totally did not notice. But we're back, and I didn't take the break that I said I would. So, you know, good luck to my everything. I did forget the Pinata mod. But I am not going to do that right now, because if I did, and I loaded back into the save, Gala and Valentin would not be getting married. Because that just triggered. So I'd rather just leave them be and have them get married. Give me a lecture on random things I'm knowledgeable about? Well, my last job was a software developer, so I have some knowledge of software development. I was, by all rights, a very crummy software developer. I didn't have a formal background in it. It was self-taught. I didn't go to school for it. Barely. I went to school for more or less like computer hardware, networking, and IT, but not with software development. So my first internship out of college was to work as a software developer, and it was basically like wait, I gotta teach myself what now? And had to catch up. I had an amazing mentor that I wish I was in touch with, and I could say, Joel, you helped me out immensely, because I don't think I ever like vocalized my appreciation to the degree that he probably deserved it. But that aside, I worked for a software developer for, I don't know, a little over a decade or something. Like odd jobs and things like that. And Yoda's back. Any tips from jumping from engineering to IT? The truth is, almost all IT is like your ability to Google problems and solve it. It's more or less like and any IT person worth their salt will tell you the same. You can memorize crap for like your CCNA or, you know, A+, or, you know, whatever it is. Like, you can memorize the textbooks for your proper certifications, but like, in reality, when you have problems, you're just going to Google it. And it's essentially you're assessing the problem and then finding a viable solution. And that's more or less all software development. Like, the joke of software development, which is a little less true, is like, it's not about knowing how to code. It's about knowing how to implement your snippet from stack into code that you already have. It's knowing which snippets of code will fit into which problems you're trying to solve. That's software development in a nutshell. So IT really, in a nutshell, I would say, is having a basic concept of like the mechanics of networking or whatever, or of hardware, or whatever IT specifically you're in, and then just knowing how to problem solve. Like, almost all computer problems are basically knowing how to problem solve. Like, I taught myself how to build computers. So the computer that I'm running, I built myself, and it's the like 5th one I've ever built. And then all of software development was self-taught. All of this was self-taught. To be honest, I was never really a consumer of YouTube or Twitch content. Like, I do watch YouTube, but not for Let's Plays and not for tutorials. So I didn't really have a full understanding of what I was getting into when I was doing it as a hobby. Most of the YouTube stuff I watch is like educational stuff. Smarter Every Day, Veritasium. The most towards entertainment that I probably get is like, I don't know, Kyrgyzstan. That would be another one I watch often. Yeah, I'm bad at consuming even the content that I myself would make. I actually do watch like YouTube tutorials for games that are particularly complex. So, for instance, learning Oxygen Not Included, I would watch Brothgar or something, you know, or snippets here and there. I wasn't committed to one YouTuber, or I valued the content and not the creator, if that makes sense. So I was like, all right, I want to find someone who's legit, who knows their stuff, and just like cherry pick for me to understand the game better. There we go, finally, death statue. And I believe this death statue is needed in this room. So thank you, Bunny. That was a big undertaking. As a 20-year IT vet, you approve this message? Yeah, I have a lot of friends that have been doing IT since right out of college, and they're all roughly, at this point, 20-year vets, given my age. And and that's why I can say with no lies that basically IT is effective being good at Google foo, and problem solving. And then sweet talking your way out of not taking more responsibilities for your CFO and CIO and CEO. Yeah, that's basically it. It's explaining complex problems to people that have no idea what you're talking about. That's also part of IT. And that's part of IT that most IT people don't do very well at, to be honest, is the communications section. I mean, I don't truly believe, like one of the shows I love is IT Crowd. I don't truly believe that all IT people can't speak to humans, but there's definitely some of them that can't. One of the first coworkers I ever had, and not first coworkers, actually one of the last coworkers I had, was his table was covered in Mountain Dew cans, empties, and he was always covered in Cheeto dust. He was like the quintessential nerd, and you couldn't speak to him at all. Like, you would ask him a work problem, and then he would just talk about, like, Star Trek. And you're just like, no, I'm trying to work here. Not get collateral Cheeto dust on me and chat about Star Trek. But I've had coworkers like that. They're very funny. Google foo is required. Honestly, Google foo. One of my pet peeves in life would be learned helplessness, or people that act helpless when you have the sum of human knowledge at your fingertips. Of course, not everything that you find on the internet will be useful. There's certainly a lot of garbage and information out there. But definitely one of my pet peeves is people that act like they can't solve their own problems when you're like, just Google it. Don't ask me. All I'm going to do is turn to Google. So all you're doing is putting the onus on me to solve your problems when I'm just going to solve it the same way you should have. And there's certainly complex problems that, like, need professional solutions. So I'll give you, for instance, like, oh, there's something wrong with my dog. He's vomiting. That's when it's like, no, don't Google it. Go to someone that knows better. Because armchair doctors or Google doctors are obviously insufferable. And I totally understand that. Same with veterinarians and whatnot. So there are some high-tech or high-skill solutions that probably only professionals should apply. So don't self-diagnose with Google your medical problems or your mental health problems or whatever. That's dumb. But for everyday stuff like, you know, how to make an omelet or how to fix the internet. Yeah, well, okay, if the internet's not working, Googling that might not work for you, but the learned helplessness is really what bothers me, is when people can't seem to figure out solutions that are so very easy and obvious. Just a pet peeve. I don't make a big issue out of it, though. Alright, what am I doing here? Speaking of helplessness. I need to get Slap Alrados a foot. He needs a right peg leg, because I screwed him up good. How do I make an omelet? I make a mean omelet, dude. I make a very mean omelet, but you have to break a few eggs. I worked as a caterer for a, like, fine dining place for a bit, as a chef, as a sous chef. So you would not believe the amount of eggs I had to crack. I'd be given, I think there's a term for, like, a dozen, like a baker's 144, but it's not even 144, it's more than that. And they'd be like, crack these, put them in a tub. It's like, why don't you just buy egg yolk and whites, like, already? One one of the prep tasks I had is the catering business would have. Uh-oh. Yep, I saw it. Valentine's on the right side of the wall. The catering business would do all the turkey prep for Thanksgiving Day turkeys. So I remember at one point, I didn't even draw the short straw. They were just like, ha, you have to do it. My responsibility was to de-giblet like 150 turkeys. Ooh. Look at that. It was awful. Awful. If you do that for work, power to you, dude. Because, like, oh, man, that was pretty intolerable. There is an omelet test for chefs, which is a French omelet. Because French omelets require a pretty decent amount of attention and care. And it requires technique. My French omelet's pretty decent. But it really depends on how French you're going to do it, because true French omelets have a ridiculous amount of butter in them. And then probably more chive than I would want to add. But it really depends on, you know, how you want to do it. But yeah, that would be the, like, omelet test for whatever. Alright, one thing I realized I did not get when I had the opportunity was uranium. So I'm not going to really be able to make this forge without the uranium, which is a problem. I haven't updated my priority in way long, but we did rescue Gala's sister, and we took the quest raids. So vote is the current priority, and let me figure out what that might be. So what is the next big project that we want to make? Set up a proper crafting room. Set up a proper dining rec room. Set up a hospital. Not that I've needed it yet. Do some ritual stuff. Yeah, we're gonna go with ritual stuff. What else is there to do? Do some enchanting or crafting. Do some gear crafting. Or viewer suggestions. Well, there's one more I could think of, which is prepare to wall gap. Wall gap would be what we did up north. This would be a wall gap where you know, it's like air gapped or whatever. Oh, there's one more, which was the panic bunker, but, you know, that's okay. What's my opinion on gear reduction? I don't know what you mean. Whoa, what? Oh boy. Get back in there. I installed a peg leg in the dark. Oh boy. My favorite way to cook an egg? I'm pretty simple. I kind of like a scrambled egg. I also like the sort of like parboiled soup eggs that you get in like Korean soups and Chinese soups. You know, where it's like I wouldn't say it's exactly hard boiled. It's not soft boiled. I don't know the name of that technique, but I really like those eggs too. Those eggs are bomb. So there's a Korean place that we go to nearby that does like kind of a boiled egg, but it's not exactly a boiled egg. It's like I don't know. There's probably some Korean term, because it's not quite soft boiled, it's not quite poached, it's not quite parboiled, you know, it's something in between. But those eggs are pretty awesome. It's not quite soft boiled though, because like soft boiled eggs imply that it's not fully cooked, but this is sort of like they just crack an egg into like boiling soup, like blanched. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. I'm sure I could Google it. Again, solving my own problems. You gonna faint. Oh man, I'm never gonna get old. This is hour 9, yes. So all's fair when you're fatigued, right? Well, we're definitely getting a pretty healthy source of magicite with the quarriers quarrying as furiously as they are. We don't have any sicknesses, which is great. lady is about to get up for the first time in 6 hours, so I'm honestly super stoked for that, because we took her in when she was, if I could go back in time, it was like 31 days or something ridiculous. It was a particularly long time. So the reason why he keeps fainting is he was on anesthesia, and then he became arcane weak, which knocked him unconscious. But once he loses the anesthesia, a little bit of spellcasting isn't going to knock him out. But arcane weakness is a condition that you get when you spellcast heavily. It just happens. It's one of those things. One thing I haven't done in a while is level up, so focus for Dal. And now that I'm looking at Dal, let's get another pylon, because the amount of zombies coming in a hot minute, is pretty extreme. If we take a look at the forecasting here, we're about to top out 100% for like a full day, which is full court press of like super zombie hordes. Soup poached egg. Soup poaching an egg so flavor is enhancing? Yeah. I would say that's probably what I mean. Hey look, our arcane capacitor is full. My wood amount is back up to 800, which is a little bit healthier. Again, if I needed to get more wood, I can break down benches and stools and even the doors. Because we could do steel doors. They'd be fine. You guys want a wall gap, so let me work on that. Prepare to set up extra walls. Now, taking a look at the base, I would say the most vulnerable spaces are where we have single walls. Because the bedrooms act as wall gaps, right? Because if they break the outer wall, they don't get in. They just get closer. So for me to set up proper wall gaps, I can actually do this. Well, I do have some slate. So let me see here. I'm just going to start painting. So if we wall gap here, that covers the southwest section. And then I really only need a wall gap this spot here. And then I'm done. I'll obviously want to add additional walls. That wouldn't be a bad idea. But that's enough to fully wall gap, I think. Is content creation my full-time job? It is. It took me maybe almost a full year of working it part-time. But I was also very lucky. I fully acknowledge my survivorship bias. I was very lucky because I was doing it as a complete hobby with no intention of becoming a full-time content creator at all. It wasn't on my radar at all. And then what ended up happening was I had I had a series or two just go viral, and it allowed me to do it as a full-time job unexpectedly. So what I did was I started ramping up the amount of content I was creating as a hobby. And I got some really early patrons, which made a world of difference. Because for Twitch and for YouTube, everything was very volatile, up and down, up and down. Especially the content I create, because the content I create tends to be persistent, long content, and that's terrible for YouTube. YouTube penalizes, well, they don't penalize you, but it doesn't help you at all when it comes to it doesn't help you at all when it comes to trying to perform well on the platform. So the really early patrons that I got were very instrumental in keeping me able to actually pursue this as a, let's call it a dream, because God knows it really is. And then between that and some luck and a lot of hard work, I was able to make it for a full-time job. Yeah, YouTube is a fickle mistress. It has a very well-established meta, but I don't play to the meta. So that's why I would say I'm like kind of penalized. Because I know that I don't play to the meta, and I just don't care. Is I guess the true honesty. The meta would be like short form content, clickbait. Yeah, just look at what's working best for the biggest creators, and that's what's meta, more or less. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. And it's not a bandwagon I want to pile on, in other words. So with the with the Arcane Forge, we have some options that I should explain. We have Mana Weave. Mana Weave takes Magicite and Cloth and makes a magical cloth, kind of like Hyperweave. I think that's why it's called Mana Weave. Similar. And Mana Weave has really high stats here, and then also can imbue sort of like extra magical properties, which is like Harmony. So protection from a line, it's like magic resist, that kind of thing. We also have Arcalium, or whatever, I don't know. But meld Steel, Jade, Silver, and Magicite into a Arcalium ore. And Arcalium has, it's very good at blunt damage. It has super high hit points, which doesn't really matter because we can mend our own equipment. But it's also very beautiful. Its sharp damage isn't particularly high, but it'd be good for light blunt stuff. And then there's also a requirement for other magical things that you make. And then we could infuse chunks, which you take a stone chunk and add with... you infuse a stone chunk with mana to create Magicite. I was stumbling there. We have the ability to make wands, which might be good for Alredos, who's a fire mage, and JD, who's a warlock, except for he's a brawler, so he's not going to want a wand. And then... what else is there? There's most of these clothing is just clothing we were able to make anyway. But there you go. And Epic Cook, thank you for this sub. And Anders and Sickless as well. Cheers to you guys. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Wizards of the Black Death, which originally streamed live on Twitch March 19th. Wizards of the Black Death is the March miniseries marathon winner, which means it was streamed one time only. So if you're thinking about providing feedback and comments, keep that in mind. This stream was also part of a charity fundraiser for the International Rescue Committee. The International Rescue Committee is trying to help citizens stuck in war zones, and specifically this fundraiser was for citizens of Ukraine. If you have interest to donate to that charity, I will leave a link in the description below. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to everybody who donated to the charity, or plans to, my Twitch subscribers, my Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell.